everybody, welcome to Power Flow. My name is Kayla. It's an honor and joy to be able to lead your practice. Today, you're gonna need a mat, a yoga block or two, and a yoga strap. So let's get started today in Hero's Pose, letting your shins come parallel to the ground, your sit bones come to rest on your heels, and just get grounded for a few breaths here. As you inhale, letting the crown of your head pull up towards the ceiling, your shoulders peel back towards the wall behind you, and just take a little bit of organic movement to find a comfortable spot in this hero pose. Take 2 more breaths, getting connected to your mat and your practice. We'll be here for the next 40 plus minutes, working up a sweat, warming up our bodies, stretching our muscles. And on your next inhale, come forward. We'll take a melting heart posture. Let your hips align directly above your knees. Your forehead can come to touch the mat. And let your forearms come to rest parallel to your mat, parallel to the ground. Breathing here. Surrendering to the low back release and the gentle heart opener. Inhale and walk your hands over to the right side of your mat, just for one breath here. Taking a nice deep side body stretch. And then gently come through the middle, walking all the way over to your left side. Coming back through center one more time. And then coming up through to a neutral tabletop alignment. You can wiggle your hips a little bit, take a little bit of organic movement here, rolling your knees or your wrists, shaking your head yes or no, tucking your toes or laying them flat. And then come to find a little bit of stillness here, just for one breath. We'll continue to warm up our spine, moving through a cat-cow series. So inhale, dropping your belly, lifting your gaze up towards the ceiling. And exhale, pressing through, lifting the middle of your spine up towards the ceiling this time, letting your gaze flow between your legs, your chin coming to tuck on your chest. And inhale, come back to cow. Take 2 more cycles. You can take these at your pace, moving at your breath, connecting each movement to your breath. And at the end of your last exhale, tuck your toes and press your hips up towards the ceiling, grounding down through all 4 corners of both hands, the balls of your feet. Breathing here. At the end of your next exhale, take a slight bend in your knees, empty everything out, and step or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, ragdoll pose, grabbing opposing elbows. Let your chin tuck to your chest. Your gaze can come to your ankles or just in front of your toes, letting your belly rest on your thighs. And inhale, rise all the way up to a standing mountain posture, letting your hands face the front of the room. And you can heel toe your feet so that your heels come to touch and your toes are out wide. Inhale, lifting your hands up above your head, interlace all 10 fingers. Exhale, take a side bend to the right, pointing your fingers to the corner of the wall to your right side. And inhale, come through center. Exhale, taking that bend over to the left. Inhale, coming back to center. And exhale for your first back bend, pressing your hips forward, pulling your shoulders and crown of head to the back wall. And exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take a chaturanga, your first one of today's class, moving from high plank through low plank into upward facing dog and meeting in downward facing dog. Empty everything out. And at the end of that exhale, travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise to a standing mountain posture. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Release chaturanga, moving at your pace. That was our first Sun A of today. We'll do a few more of those, warming up our body from head to toe. Take a rest breath in this down dog. And step or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, creating a flat spine. Fold forward. Inhale, rising up. Standing mountain posture. And exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Halfway lift, peeling your shoulder blades together. Exhale, release chaturanga. We'll do one more sun salutation A today. Take one full rest breath here. Step or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift on your inhale. Release, fold forward. Rise on your next inhale. And exhale, forward fold again. Halfway lift, releasing into your flow, your chaturanga. And we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take a little bit of time to walk out your dog, move your hips, roll forward from high plank back to down dog. Just taking whatever movement feels good to your body today. One more full breath, filling your lungs completely. And empty everything out. Inhale, right leg high, three-legged dog, rolling out your right ankle, kicking out your knee, shaking off any tension. And exhale, stepping your right leg through to meet your hands. Inhale, rising to crescent lunge, letting your gaze flow over your fingertips up towards the ceiling. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, three-legged dog, your left leg high this time, rolling out your ankle, kicking out your knee, and eventually stepping through and rising for crescent lunge on the left side. One more full inhale, pulling the length of your spine to the ceiling. And exhale, planting your hands, stepping it back, downward facing dog. We're almost through our sun salutation B series. One more full inhale. Empty everything out. Travel to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise to chair pose, bringing your hands again to the ceiling, pulling your hips to the back wall and down towards the floor, sitting deep into your chair, breathing here. One more full inhale. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take a flow, moving at your pace, doing whatever variation of chaturanga feels good in your body today. And meeting in downward facing dog. We'll take a few more sun salutation B series today. We'll move one posture per breath, taking one last rest breath here. Three-legged dog, right leg up. Exhale, sweeping your right leg through. Inhale, rising to crescent lunge. And exhale, planting your hands, stepping it back, downward facing dog. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg high to the ceiling. And exhale, sweeping it through. Rising on your inhale, crescent lunge, left side. And exhale, lowering back down to downward facing dog. Empty everything out. And step or hop to the top of your mat. Halfway lift on your inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Rise on your inhale, chair pose, sitting low in your chair, firing up your quads. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, release, taking your chaturanga. Take one full cycle of breath in this downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, right leg up again. We'll do one more series. Stepping it through, crescent lunge on the right side, rising with your inhale. And exhale, planting your hands, stepping back to downward facing dog. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg high. Exhale, sweeping your foot to meet your feet. And rising on your inhale. Exhale, release, plant your hands, step it back, downward facing dog. Fill everything up and empty it all out. Hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rising chair pose. We'll hold it for 2 breaths this time. It's our last one. Inhale, elongating your spine, pulling the crown of your head to the ceiling, And exhale, sitting 1 inch deeper into your chair, breathing here. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Plant your hands, step it back. Take your flow here. And inhale, come through high plank, setting your knees down and pressing it back to child's pose. Just taking a quick rest here. 2 more full breaths. Last breath right here. Inhale, coming up through tabletop. Pressing and grounding down through your left hand. Inhale, lifting your right hand high to the ceiling, rolling out your wrist. And exhale, thread the needle. Take a nice little shoulder stretch here. Inhale, pressing your right hand back up to the ceiling, rolling out one more time, and gently letting it come back to the mat. switching and setting up for the other side. Lifting your left fingertips high to the ceiling, rolling out your wrist. And exhale, threading the needle, bringing your left cheek down to the mat. Your hips stay lifted. Take one more full cycle of breath here. Planting your hand, press your left fingertips back up to the ceiling, rolling out your wrist. And exhale, gently placing your left hand back to the mat. Tuck your toes. Inhale, pressing it back, downward facing dog. Three-legged dog on your next inhale, right leg high to the sky. And exhale, stepping your right leg through to meet your hands. Inhale, rising on your full breath, fingertips reaching to the ceiling. Holding here. Inhale, pulling your shoulder blades back and towards each other. Exhale, sitting 1 inch deeper into your crescent lunge. Open up warrior two, reaching your fingertips towards the front wall and pulling your left fingertips to the back wall, breathing here. Reverse your warrior, planting your left hand and pulling your right hand to the back ceiling. Exhale, coming forward to extended side angle, and we're gonna take a bind here today. Option, if full bind is in your practice, interlace your fingers in both hands, or option to use a yoga strap today to connect your hands and open your shoulders, pulling your left shoulder to the back wall and pressing your right arm into your right thigh as much as your right thigh presses into your right shoulder. Breathing here, feeling strong in your foundation, strong in your arms. Exhale, release, planting your hands, pivoting and stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhale, three-legged dog, left leg high to the sky. And sweeping it through. Rise on your inhale, crescent lunge. Holding for a few breaths again here, elongating your spine. Sitting 1 inch deeper. And pivoting, opening up into warrior two, pulling your hands energetically to opposing walls. And reverse your warrior. Exhale, come through to extended side angle. Same thing here, we're taking a bind today. Using a yoga strap if full bind is not in your practice. Pulling and opening up your chest for a deep twist here, breathing through this. Pushing your left shoulder into your left thigh and vice versa. One more full breath. Release, planting your hands again and stepping back, downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward to high plank, holding for a breath. Pressing back, downward facing dog. Inhale, roll forward, one more high plank, holding it here, 2 breaths this time. Pressing it back, downward facing dog. Empty everything out of your lungs. And at the end of that breath, hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Heel toe your feet to hip width distance apart. We're gonna take a fingers to toes forward fold here, interlacing your peace fingers into each big toe, letting your belly rest on your thighs. And exhale, using your upper body to pull the crown of your head down towards your mat. Letting your gaze go to the wall behind you or the mat just behind your feet. Breathing here. And release. You can heel toe your feet back to touch. Inhale to a halfway lift, creating a flat spine. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rising up to a standing mountain posture. We'll move through some stability postures here and come back for that series on the other side. So let's start with our yoga strap today. Getting grounded down into your left foot, all four corners. We're gonna take a standing leg raise to start. When you feel ready, you can go ahead, inhale, lifting up your right leg, creating 90-degree bend at the hip, 90-degree bend at the knee and at the foot. Taking whatever variation of standing leg raise is in your practice. If that's a full bind with fingers or using a yoga strap, taking your fullest expression right here, letting your gaze follow your left fingertips, feeling strong through your left leg. Gently come through center, sending your right leg back to the wall behind you like you're trying to stamp your footprint on the wall, letting your palms face the floor. And inhale to lift your shoulders, neck, and head up for a slight back bend here, airplane posture. And release, come back to that standing mountain posture. Inhale your hands up above your head. And exhale, swan dive forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, taking a chaturanga, stepping it back. Moving high plank to low plank. Upward facing dog. And as always, meeting in downward facing dog. We'll take a few breaths here. Empty everything out of your lungs. And at the end of that breath, travel to the top of your mat. We're gonna take a palms to toes forward fold here, letting your big toe come to meet the creases of your wrists, walking on your palms, letting your belly rest on your thighs. And exhale, use your upper body, pull your head down to your mat, breathing here. Release, heel toe your feet back to touch. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rising up to a standing mountain posture. And we're gonna take standing leg raise to the other side. So get grounded down through your right foot. Inhale, lifting your left leg. Again, taking whatever variation feels good in your practice. And finding your full expression for a few breaths. Letting your gaze follow your right fingertips this time. Feeling strong all the way through your right leg. And gently come through center, dropping your yoga strap. Kicking your left foot back, taking airplane posture here. And when you feel like you found your fullest expression, inhale, lifting your shoulders, peeling your shoulders towards each other, breathing here. Exhale, release, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take your flow, meeting in downward facing dog. Take one more full breath here. And travel to the top of your mat. Halfway lift. Fold forward. Inhale, rise, come all the way to a standing posture. And walk your legs just past hip width distance apart. Inhale, bringing your hands to heart center, prayer posture. And exhale, taking a deep yogi squat. Let your big toes point to the upper corners of your mat, your heels facing in towards each other. And exhale, squatting down, making contact, elbows to the insides of your thighs. Breathing here, 2 full breaths. One more. Now increase, coming up onto your left foot for 1 breath. Exhale, lowering back down. Inhale, coming up onto your right toes. Exhale, lowering back down. Option to stay right here for 1 whole breath. Or inhale, coming up onto both toes, finding stability in the ball of your feet, pressing into your thighs. Exhale, fold forward for crow posture, letting your elbows stay connected to your thighs, letting your big toes come to touch, your gaze going between your hands, breathing here. Release, stepping it back for downward facing dog. Take a full rest breath here. Travel to the top of your mat at the end of your next exhale. And rise, come to a full standing posture. And once again, take your feet past hip width distance apart, this time really wide. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, pulling the crown of your head to the ceiling, peeling your shoulder blades back and towards each other. And exhale, hinging at your hips, fold forward. Option to grab a yoga block here, letting your forehead come down to meet the block, or letting your head hang heavy. Options to grab the backs of your calves or your ankles. Take one more full breath here. Gently pivot your feet, walking your left foot in, and we'll take a little pyramid posture to the right, bringing that block next to your right foot. Take one full breath here, belly meeting your right thigh. And inhale, plant your left hand to either the mat or a block, opening up your right arm to the ceiling, creating a deep twist in this humble warrior posture. You can gently release, come out of that twist, walk your hands back through center, and then then all the way over to the left side. Again, letting belly meet your left thigh. Taking a breath here, feeling that deep stretch through both legs. And planting your right hand to the mat or a block. Taking that twist on the other side, reaching your left fingertips to the ceiling. Exhale, release. Coming back to center. Heel toe your feet back out to a wide posture. And plant your hands on your mat. And pull the crown of your head down towards the floor. One more full breath here. You can heel toe your feet just a little bit closer together. Bring your hands to meet your hips. Find a flat spine and inhale, rising up, hinging at the hips. And then walk your feet back into touch, moving your props out of the way. Inhale, coming back to an extended mountain pose, interlacing all 10 fingers, pointer finger stays long. And exhale, taking a bend to the right. Inhale, come through center. Exhale, take that bend to the left. Lifting back up to center. And pressing your hips out, tilting your head, neck, and shoulders back. Taking a back bend for 2 full breaths. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, lift your right leg high to the sky, shaking out your ankle, kicking out your leg, releasing any tension that's left. And exhale, coming through, setting up for half pigeon, letting your right heel align directly under your left hip, pointing your left leg long and pulling your big toe to the wall behind you. Inhale, elongate your spine, pulling the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And exhale, fold forward over your right leg. Option to come down to your forearms or let your head, your forehead, come to meet a block. Taking a few breaths here and surrendering to this deep hip opening stretch. One more full cycle of breath. Gently press your upper body back up. Kick your left toes up to the ceiling and use your right hand to make contact with the back of your left foot. Just opening up to a king pigeon here, feeling a deep stretch through the top of your left thigh. Breathing. Exhale, release, setting your right hand back down, tucking your left toes, and pressing back to three-legged dog. Shake out your right leg. And gently let it come to meet your left leg. Inhale, taking three-legged dog to the left side this time. And exhale, sweeping your left leg through, setting up for that half pigeon on the left side, letting your right toes lay long. Your left heel is aligned under your right hip. And inhale, pull the crown of your head to the ceiling. Let your gaze look up to the ceiling. And exhale, fold forward, coming all the way down to your forearms, a block, or the mat. Evening out our postures, taking that deep hip opener to the left. And if you find tension in this posture, bringing your focus to your breath, counting each inhale and each exhale. Inhale, slowly pressing your upper body back up and lifting your right toes. And this time reaching back to make connection. Two more full breaths. And release, tuck your right toes, pressing back into three-legged dog. Shake out your left leg. And come back to downward facing dog. Inhale, rolling forward into high plank, planting your knees and pressing it back to a child's pose, breathing here. Taking an extended child's pose, activating your child's pose, grounding down into all four corners of both hands, engaging your arms, extending your elbows, pressing your hips 1 inch closer to your heels. Inhale, come back through tabletop and all the way back to a seated posture. We're gonna take a little bit of core work here before we move on to our backs. We'll take a boat posture, and today we'll use a block. You can place that between your knees or your thighs. Let your arms come down by your side, palms facing up, and kick your shins up, letting your calves and shins be parallel to the ground beneath you, squeezing that block between your thighs, holding here for 2 full breaths, feeling strong. Last breath. Exhale, lowering all the way down, bringing the soles of your feet together. Your knees to fall out wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. A gentle hip opener. And inhale, lift your legs back up. We'll take bridge posture here. Again, using our block, squeezing our block with our thighs. Hands down by your side. And on your next inhale, press into your heels, lifting your hips, squeeze your thighs together, engage your core, hold here for 2 full cycles of breath. Release, lowering back down. Keep that block between your thighs. We'll take 1 more bridge today. Inhale, press up, hold up. Be here for 3 breaths this time. Full inhales and full exhales. Last breath right here. Lower everything back down. Remove your block. Heel toe your feet back to touch, and just windshield wiper your legs left to right. And then come to find stillness. Let your left leg lay long. And inhale, bring your right knee in for a hug, rolling out your right ankle. And when you feel ready, take a supine twist, bringing your right leg all the way over your left side body. Your gaze to flow over your right fingertips that are reaching for the right wall to your right side. Breathing here. Take one more full cycle of breath. And inhale, come back through center. And give your right knee one more squeeze of self-love. And then let your right leg come down long to meet your left leg. And take a full body stretch here, reaching your hands over your head and pointing your toes. Exhale, leave your right leg long this time and bring your left knee in for a squeeze, rolling out your left ankle, wiggling your left toes. And then taking that supine twist on the other side. Letting your gaze flow over your left fingertips this time. And feeling supported from the base of your right hip all the way through your left shoulder. And gently unwind, come back to center, and hug your left knee in for one more squeeze of self-love. And then exhale, letting your left leg lay long to meet your right leg. Taking another full body stretch here, pointing your toes to the wall in front of you and reaching your fingertips to the wall behind you. And release. Coming back to another Supta Baddha Konasana, letting your soles of your feet come to touch. One hand resting on your belly, one hand resting on your heart. Take a little bit of organic movement here. You can move your legs, butterfly them up and down. You can rock from side to side for a little low back massage. Just wiggling out any remaining tension in your hips or lower body. And then come to find stillness. Just for one more breath. And we'll take waterfall. Letting your low back stay planted on the ground if that's not in your practice. Placing your hands directly under your low back just to protect your low back. Lift your legs up towards the ceiling. Flex your toes back down towards your face. Holding here, waterfall pose. Happy baby, let your hands come to meet the bottom of your feet, kicking and rocking side to side. And exhale, release. You can hinge all the way up into a seated posture. Crisscross your legs, bringing your hands to the front of your shins, taking one last full inhale here to elongate your spine, open your chest. Bring your hands to a prayer posture and inhale them all the way up to your third eye center. The light in me honors and adores the light in you. Together we can bow to close class. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining Power Flow today. Again, my name is Kayla. I'd love to hear any feedback that you have related to this class, or if you feel like checking out any of the other classes that I teach. If not, I'll see you back next week for Power Flow. Take care. Sweet.
I'm Sarah, and this is cardio dance. Are you guys ready to work out? Let's do it.
Bag. Go! That's where we want to go.
Last 10 seconds. I'm right here with you. Let's do it.
Welcome to the Y. My name is Erin. I'm Jennifer.
My name is Linda.
My name is Tommy, and today we're going to do a quick step routine.
We feeling like we can conquer the world today?
I wish you all could smell it. It smells so good.
Time. We get stronger in my world. We're going to do it again.
We'll see you again. Keep working.